like I woke up. I've been up since 5 o'clock. Well, before 5 o'clock, the cats woke me up, and then I had to quell the cats, and then I had to shovel the driveway, and then I did some like essentially arts and crafts for the next following 3 hours. I was so my wife does jewelry and stuff, and she has these like cards that she hangs her jewelry on. Like you fold them in half, and then they stand upright and stuff. And like I cut probably 200 something of these while watching Wreck-It Ralph 2, and then a bunch of Steven Universe. So it's like that was up until 11 o'clock, and then after that I had to run some errands, and then I got back and I was just so tired, and I finally was able to fall asleep for a little bit. So yeah, over the past 48 hours I think I've had like 7 hours of sleep. Yeah, I don't know. Cody Project procrastinating sidetrack, catching up a few videos, reminded some files got downloaded. Yeah, just classic distractions. So thankfully I don't have a time limit today. I'm going to basically just work on something new. I was kind of thinking about trying to personify No Limit Wednesday. Yeah, trying to find a way to write a song about insomnia. Just got out of your BFA thesis review. How'd that go? Oh, good. For some reason, I can't remember what BFA stands for. I'm thinking of a lot of acronyms that probably aren't correct. Gotcha. Good job. I actually kind of like where that was. Yeah, I was thinking like Big Fucking Artist or something. I can swear this isn't going on YouTube. Hey, Fleepo, how are you? I'm glad everybody's having a good day. So yeah, I kind of want to just name this song Insomnia. Because this is definitely the mood for insomnia for me. Yeah. Big damn artist. That's great. Yeah, like freelancing is great, but it's also very scary. So I'm glad that you're doing well with that. Hey, Ozzy getting rich. How you doing? I'll give you a little piano. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Acidic. I think you've been here before. I remember that name. That's what it is. I knew I recognized that name somewhere. Well, thank you for the follows. I really do appreciate it, guys. I do not give feedback on songs live, but you're welcome to leave me a DM, and I'd be happy to do that. I also, I should joke about it, but I did create a channel points reward for 50,000 points that I'll listen to your song, but that's because I don't want to listen to people's songs live. I'm happy giving feedback, but not while I'm streaming. So yeah, like I wanted to work on this track, trying to figure out how to just kind of how I want to put this together, because I feel like we're doing some really chill stuff. That hasn't happened yet, Acidic, but I wouldn't put it past somebody. No. Nobody's ever supposed to use that. Well, somebody needs to redeem their points for a sample pack in 3 days. So we need to do a micro sample pack soon. Yeah, I heard good things about it. Ham boob. So this is interesting, but also really boring. Yeah. Yeah, I like that it's kind of implied that it's in this D minor, D major, but the melody's in this like A minor, which is like kind of a parallel, but not really. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, this is actually like something I can really vibe to. That layering really helps. And then, like, all of these won't really fit together, but then you can add the saxophone, because I'm trying to keep this a very limited ensemble kind of thing. So I do want to say that the breath controller helps there, but really, I have to give kudos to this contact baritone sax. Like, this is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Like, all I'm doing is modulating the volume, which can be done manually. It's just a pain in the butt. So like finding this session horns stuff like a week before I started the challenge was really, really amazing, because just how it all kind of makes things come together. Excuse me. Yeah, I definitely love the sound of it though. Like, I'm definitely not sad that I found it, because like it just really elevates the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do, I'll copy that and paste this out a little bit. And then we can, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yeah, there's so many options these days. Good job. Excuse me. And you can also get VSTs that are essentially like virtual models of an instrument, which really makes these things shine. So let's just record some stuff, and then we can work on cleaning this up a little bit, making it a little bit more interesting. Oh, ran out of breath. Also, there's like some weird trill on that one. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I just want to know how it happened so I can control it a little better. Because I did like how it sounded. It felt a little out of place. Yeah, Ableton 11 looks really good. And I guess I'm calling it Able 11. Able 11, I guess. instead of Able 10, which is what we're on now, I guess Able 11. And then it'll be Able 12. It's getting a little bit more confusing after that, though. 11ton. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm super stoked about that. I think that it's gonna end up really great. Yeah, and now I feel bad getting rid of my Rolly C block because Equator was incredible and it was just a beautiful instrument. Yeah, right? Okay, why is this looping? What is going on? There we go. Toxic. I really like the vibe of this. This is definitely going to be called Insomnia. That was a little loud. Okay, so then we can bring in like the drums here. One thing I like about this is how kind of disjointed it is, where it doesn't, it has a loop point, but it's not really following it. Like for any kind of, what is this? It's a 12 bar loop? Yeah. Do I want $4? Or dollars? I don't know what a dollar is. How far it can get carried without drums? Yeah, honestly, that's a good point. I mean, really, what I've been doing with a lot of these has just been putting a tap on it, and that's pretty much it. So... But I do agree that puts a little bit of structure in there that might not be good. So instead of that, how about we add a like a synth? Let's like boot up Massive and just see if we can. You're $4 short of a podcast episode. Yeah, so every Friday I release a new podcast on my Patreon. So there's like 62 episodes up there that you'd have access to. But that's at the $5 a month tier. The $5 a month also gives you a couple other things too. I can't exactly remember what, but yeah, there's options there. Oh right, I recorded 62 like the other day. Listen, that's all up to you. Like I finding for those of you who have like started and like are running a Patreon, I'm sure you understand how difficult it is to like imbue value into each of the tiers in such a way that makes it a little bit more interesting. Yeah. Oh, the how I approach an album one? Yeah, that one's fun. Like I think I kind of recounted the like how I came about a lot of my Naso Elmo albums. It was a lot of fun. I do plan on like I do plan on pushing a lot of the old ones to YouTube. So like from a year ago, the podcast that I recorded will get pushed to YouTube, but I just haven't been with it on that. Let's see. What name talks to me here? Hidden Glass. That could be an interesting... Yeah, maybe we'll just do this without headphones, without drums. So if we do that, it's going to make this a little bit more complicated, which is fine. I do like my drams though, but I agree it's not really. Maybe the coated tom. Honestly, yeah. If I'm gonna add anything, it would be that. For a little bit of texture. And that's basically it. So we can go like this. Make sure it's loud enough. Because that works really well, like from a narrative standpoint, because it's really subtle, but it also kind of sounds like something scratching at a wall or something that's like really kind of in the back of your mind, which is a lot of what Insomnia is for me, where it's just like I'm just sitting there trapped in my own head. Like I want to go to sleep, but I keep thinking about stuff that I really don't care to think about right now. At least that's where I've been lately. Okay, so one thing I need to do with these is I'm going to mark things red. Ugh, not that red, though. That's way too bright. It hurts my eyeballs right now. These are things that I need to switch up a little bit. Like, the structure's there, but I don't want it to feel like a loop. Excuse me. Yeah, I unfortunate. Well, maybe it's not unfortunate, but I don't really remember my dreams. Oops. I need to edit something real quick. I don't really remember my dreams, which is maybe a mixed blessing. I don't really know. Why? There we go. An unnatural sounding piano. It's like the thing keeping you awake. Yeah, and I have no problem adding that. Like maybe we can find kind of a discordant. A second piano would be interesting, actually. That's a good thought. I'm starting to feel like I need to branch out from this ensemble a little bit. As much as I'm enjoying like being limited by this, I also feel like it should be something that I'm that's like used as a springboard instead of something that I'm like structurally limited to. So maybe if we just go like, well, not like that, but yeah, exactly. Phrygian stuff. I have another song that you guys haven't heard yet that I'm super stoked for people to listen to. But it has that chord in it. And actually Kinetic Toys might be really good instead of the Unicorda, because you can get some really cool ratcheting sounds with it, and that might work really well. Probably not that one, but Clockwork. Yeah, so let's take this and toss a delay on it. And put like a fairly significant delay on it. I almost think that instead of the synth we could go like this, but this might be too much. Actually, no, that's perfect. So what I can do then is I can go like this. There we go. So I basically just have a double layer here. Oh, that is spooky. I like that a lot. So we're going from... Yeah, I kind of want to go down an octave, so... God, I know, right? Like, I used Allura so many times until I listened to Spotify, like the more recent Spotify stuff, especially my I don't want to say contemporaries, like Chipzel and... oh, what's his name? There's like 4 or 5 other artists that get recommended with me, and all of them started using Allura at the same time, and I was like, I think I'm gonna stop using Allura now. Yeah, BGC is another one. That's not the one I was thinking of. Zircon was the one I was thinking. But which makes sense because I think Allura is Zircon's wife. Yeah. But like the whole thing where it's just like I started hearing it everywhere and I'm like, oh no. But you're right. Putting in some like spooky voice stuff might work really well. Yeah. I am right. That's why I said it. Yeah, Chipsil. Yeah, Chipsil. They're like all really good. Like I say I believe so, yeah. Super Hexagon and a couple other really top-notch soundtracks. But it's just like I hate saying like, oh, my contemporaries, because I feel like I'm not really at their level. All right, Cadence of Hyrule, and I think also Crypt of the Necrodancer. At least I know that there's remixes. Why is this already? It's haunted. It's already on Allura. I don't remember the last time I've used this. Why is this on Allura already? That's genuinely creepy. I don't know. Yes, Ableton 11 has an AI installed on it, which will automatically choose the instruments that you want to use. So yeah, I don't really know. Why is this not playing? What am I doing wrong here? Oh, because I have to like select it. Right. It's been a while since I've used this thing. Playable range. Why is this not working? Because it's not selected again. So how do you select it then? There it is. Oh, right. Okay. So it's phrase assign and then... Okay. It's been a while since I've used this particular plugin. It's a little... So what I want to do is I really want this in the background. So I'm going to actually toss a reverb on it with 100% wet just to blur it out more. Actually, that works really well. It's really hard to hear right now because I lowered it way too much. I don't know if that phrase is the right one, but I feel like it's... Oh, it's the same one. I just chose the same one twice. Good job. Yeah, I'm just choosing random ones right now. It doesn't particularly matter too much. So we have this one. No, I don't think that really fits, honestly. It doesn't evoke the feeling that I want. No, not a bad suggestion, just not... The thing is, it's... Excuse me. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that. That's on a possible to try as well. Probably when I'm feeling a little better, but... I agree. It's not necessarily that I'm sick. I'm just incredibly tired. Proper breaths. Yeah. Oops. So I'm kind of thinking like it evolves to something like that. Because I like the idea of this kind of evolving and kind of falling down a little bit. Well, it helps if I play the right notes. Jeez. Gotta give myself more than 1 second of prep time. It's the right idea, but my brain's not processing what I want. Hey, Jank. I kind of got a little lost in the sauce there, but I like where that went. Oh no. I hope the kitty's okay. That's scary. I always worry about Trevor jumping on the stove after I've cooked something because he loves to eat scraps. Hello, Castman. How are you? And especially right after we're done cooking dinner, when we're eating, he jumps on the counter and tries to find scraps of cheese and whatever else was on the counter. So it's like, I really worry that he's going to just jump on the stove and just like burn his beans off, and then we'll all be sad. So yeah, that's kind of a fear of mine. Yeah, I got a little lost in my tempo there, but I think that should be better. So what we can do is, since we have a different vibe for this, I'm kind of down for just recording more saxophone. Wrong note. Also, something got displaced over here and all the pedals went away, which kind of sucks. I don't know why that happened. Oh, there are no hold pedals. Okay. That's also kind of weird, because I'm pretty sure I... Pretty sure I hit those. Okay, let's try this again. I'm also going to go in here and lower... Because I like that this is a little bit more intense, but I feel like this gets a little too aggro for the style that I'm going for. It's supposed to be like kind of subdued anxiety instead of like, the monsters are coming for you. I've got an instrument so you have correct phrasing on VSTs. Are you talking about the breath controller I have? Oh, hi, Tycho. Do you want to say hello? Oh, you're such a big boy now. Please don't rub your butt on my breath controller because I put my mouth on that. This is Tycho. Hi. Yeah. I don't know if he wants attention or what. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me... I talk about the breath controller a lot because I love it so much. So it's basically this guy. It has 4 different MIDI outputs. It has breath pressure. It has bite, so like biting down on it. It also has tilt. Both pitch and yaw, I guess is what it is. And those can get translated into essentially expression like this. And what I'm doing is I'm using that expression to control the master volume of it. Yeah, Tycho's a big boy, but he still has his baby meow. He also likes to... In the morning, he's usually the one that gets me up because he just stands there and screams at other cats. He's just like... Just constantly. I don't want to run you over. Please don't sit under my chair. So... TE Control. I called it Tech Control for a long time, but it's tecontrol.se, I think. Because it's not .com. Yeah, tecontrol.se. This is the one that I have, the Breath and Bite Controller 2. There is a regular breath controller, but it does not have the bite, and the bite is so valuable for me when it comes to extra expression. So this one's out of stock anyway. So that one's 100 euros, but this one's 220 euros, and it has a lot more flexibility when it comes to MIDI. Oh, they do have spare mouthpieces. I should pick some of those up. I still wonder if I can 3D print these. I think I can. To the wish list, yes. And I've talked about it before, but I will talk about the breath controller forever. Like, one of my favorite things with this breath controller is hooking it into Massive and then just absolutely just creating this amazingly flexible synth. Where's After the Aftermath? One thing that I want to do with this album is write a song called The Catalyst, which is what the Aftermath is referring to. But I don't know if that is too meta. So with this, inside of Massive here, which you can do this with other things too, but if you look at these two expression knobs here, one is breath pressure, and then two is bite pressure. And then using that, you can create some really flexible and interesting synths. Here. So it's just absolutely beautiful. It's yeah. There is, I don't know if you're familiar. I know Jeremy talked about it in Red Bean's recording, but there's Syntorial, which is an absolutely fantastic introduction to how synthesis works and how you can build your own patches. And yeah, highly recommend this as well. I even the demo goes a long way. I never actually paid for it, but I really want to. Yeah. Yeah, I should. I feel like this goes the wrong direction. It should go. It's a nice thing about having the MIDI expression. I can always change it if I want to. This is the wrong. Back in my day. Nah, I don't like that. Also, this chord right here. Oof. That really got me. Which, like, it like, all of this kind of implies a major scale, but when it like hard goes to a major chord, man, that really gets me. Hello, Ailerun. Hello. I almost wanted to say Ailerun like an airplane, but I don't think that's right. Because I don't think that's how that's spelled, right? Aileron. So, yeah. I'm really liking how this song is coming together. I feel like we need to add the... Yeah. FamiTracker tutorials. Yeah. Is that correct? Now I'm curious. I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should do another FamiTracker month in December. I think that might be fun. It kind of depends on my mental state. But doing more FamiTracker stuff would be fun. Low run. A low run. Gotcha. I like some of this, but I'm not really a big fan of it. Like, I'm in the wrong key, I think, because the piano's on D, but the real scale is like A. It's a real interesting. I like how ambiguous it is, though. Like, for a song named Insomnia, I feel like this is kind of capturing the mood fairly well. Yeah, go for it. I am unfortunately very self-taught with music theory, so I'll do my best. I kind of learn as I go, which is not really the ideal method. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people learned, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a lot slower, you know? It's a little loud. Guitar and keyboard. Go to minor major chord and why they're the way they are. Get part where it's clear how you choose your chords to make a song. Well, honestly, it really depends. That's a super good question. I like that question. For this song in particular, and I'll talk about this song in particular. This song, I've been suffering from some insomnia the past couple nights, so I decided to try to, for lack of a better word, personify that feeling. And for me personally, I feel like there's a load of ambiguity when I have insomnia, where I'm just kind of lying there. I'm trying to shut my brain off so I can sleep. Musiconify, yes, the most awkward word to say in the English language. So my whole point is this song is in like, it's in like D major. Whoops. Because we're doing like, but there are also parts of it that are in A minor. Is it A minor? No, it's in A major. Because like the scale is really, yeah, this is D suspend to D major. But the scale, so essentially I have two different things happening. One of them is in this D major scale, and the rest is in like this A major scale. So there's like this clash. So it creates this level of ambiguity where some things are in A, some things are in D, and they work together well enough because because that's what felt natural. I didn't consciously choose that. I was playing around with this like main melody here, where And kind of that melody ended on the A. And that it just kind of flowed from there. Like it wasn't a conscious decision. So we have this. Actually, it's more like a diminished almost. It's a really weird chord structure. But I'm getting a little lost in the weeds with my explanation for this. So when it comes to what you want to choose, like you're not locked to a particular scale or a particular chord. Like you can start in C minor. So that's all in C minor, but then you can go to C major. If you want. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing that. It all really kind of depends on how you want how the song to feel. So you can have this. There's a ton of reverb on this. I'm gonna just a second. Let me go like this. Wah! There we go. So that's all in C minor. So it really kind of depends on how you want to go. You mostly pick sounds first and figure out what chords you use instinctively. Yeah, that works really well for me. Like it's all personal preference and style. Where I mostly write a lot of my music in C minor because I'm comfortable with this scale and I'm comfortable working within it. Yeah, exactly, Castman. That's a good way of putting it. You find what you want to kind of start with, your home base. I know a lot of music theories talks about like your tonic or your home. So this is just going from the 1 to the 6 chords. And then I can go to 4, 5, 6. Wow, I did not like that. So like going from the 5, because this is the major. So you can go from like 1 minor or C minor to G major. So you can really find those parallels between the scales and what you want, and really the fray. It might have been, I don't know, but really like the dissonance. Yeah, and like finding that dissonance and not being afraid of creating chords that are a little spooky. Like I mentioned before, like I have a song in this album that uses this. C minor 9, so it's like where it's really you have this, but it's let me open the piano roll. So you have this C, D flat, and or D, E flat, and B flat. Yeah. So this by itself, that's ugly. Or at least in most circumstances, it's ugly. But in the context of the greater chord, it works really well. And you also have to, and in this, the problem with music theory is that it just kind of spirals out of control and gets more and more complicated the more you dig into it, where it's just like, yes, this one chord might sound kind of scary or not really correct. Right? Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, like, usually when 2 notes right next to each other, dissonance is usually what you call it. But the fact that you have this, but you can resolve it to this. So you can have... So it's not only the context of the chord you're in, but the chord that you came from and the chord that you're going to. So you have, like... love floofs. So it really kind of depends on everything. Resolve it means when it comes after dissonance, the frequency moves down from the clash. Yes, exactly. So this specifically has this dissonance. So you can resolve that down. It's like, what is that? It's a soap opera. But yeah, like it's all about kind of context. Getting a lot of jazz today. Yeah. I'm trying to keep working on this album. Poor K. Yeah. Luscious jazz. So in that part, that was actually a mistake where I was in F minor, but I accidentally hit A. So all of a sudden I was like, so it's cool. It's kind of it's a wrong note because it's outside of the scale. But what you can do with that, and this was all kind of like natural in my head, and I didn't really do it on purpose. But I was like, so all of a sudden this is a leading tone into the next chord. So it's like all of a sudden you put focus on this wrong note. So you're here, and then you go, yeah, exactly. It gives it spice. If you want to just stay within the scale that you're in, the song will sound okay, but it won't sound as interesting if you don't put spice on it. I like calling it spice. That's pretty funny. I bet if you asked Pizza that question, Toxic, you would probably get an answer. Pizza knows way more about music theory than I do when it comes to that. Yeah, and the other thing is, like, when we get in this song, like when we get in it, and no, it's right here. So we're in this. So currently, in the context of this song, we're in this like kind of dark minor chord, but when it resolves to this major, like it really hits me. So. Like, that really hits me because we're in this like really dark kind of minor dour key, and all of a sudden it just like there's like this ray of sunshine kind of breaks through everything. Yeah. I don't like that note. So yeah, like this song, more than most of the others that I do, is way more freeform. Like I'm not really sticking to any particular scale or anything like that. I'm just kind of doing what I feel sounds good, and really I feel that that's more important than sticking to a particular music theory like school, if that makes sense, where you're not being like, well, the rules say that I should do this and then turn it around and then go 5-1 and all this other stuff. And it's like, you absolutely can do that, but I feel that it's a little bit more fun to make something that sounds good and then figure out the theory afterwards, rather than figure out the theory to make it sound good. And maybe that's because I'm less. Yeah, exactly. I'm less skillful when it comes to kind of formulating what I want to do beforehand with the theory and then executing it on the page. Well, hello, Floof and Snoof. Test to you. Exactly. Like, I feel that music theory is two things. One, it's a way for you to figure out why something sounds good. It's like having the formula, the math formula that does all the work for you, but you still want to know how that formula works. Just to know. I really hated higher math in high school because they just gave you a formula and be like, use this, it works. And I'm just like, well, why does it work? Like, why does this formula specifically work to detangle the issue that I have? Yeah, exactly. And the other reason why music theory is super important is because it gives you an out if you painted yourself in a corner. There's been a lot of 2-hour track challenges where I have been kind of stuck, where the chord progressions that I made, or like the things that I've been working on, like all of a sudden I'm kind of stuck in this corner where it's just like, well, I don't really know where to go. I don't know how to get from where I am to where I want to be. And that's where music theory comes in super handy as well, because it allows me to be like, okay, so I'm on the 4 and I can take that and I can turn it around to like the 2 and then the 5 and then back to the 1. And it's really valuable for getting yourself out of a predicament, creatively speaking, because it allows you to have that flexibility when it comes to problem solving. But yeah, it's tools for your tool belt. Music theory doesn't make you a better producer. It makes you a more efficient producer because you understand how things work better. I guess that's a good way of putting it. I'm a little off track. That's okay. I'm glad that I have a little bit of energy. I was so tired at the beginning of the stream. I have a feeling that the caffeine in this tea has helped a little bit too. A bit random. I took my glasses off. Yeah, I was cleaning them. Sorry. Did you ever wear glasses? What are you talking about, Em? I've never worn glasses a day in my life. Yeah, Jank, I hear you. And I mean, I wrote music for over 10 years without knowing theory, where I just I bumbled around and I made it work. It can be frustrating because you don't really know how to make it work. Well, hello, Discovery Show. How are you? Yeah. There's a lot of really good info out there. As much as I hate the names, Idiot's Guide to Music Theory and Music Theory for Dummies, those are both very, very good books. Unfortunately, a lot of music theory talks about sheet music, which isn't really necessary in the context of this stuff. There is a book, I think. Let me see if I have it. I thought I had a book called music theory for electronic like EDM, which doesn't really go into the the sheet music as much, but maybe I don't have it. Sorry, I have like a folder open on my other computer trying to find that book, but I don't think I have it anymore, or it's on a different drive. That's a good point, Castman. It's not just the notes that you're playing, but it's also the instruments that are playing them. It's the loudness of those instruments. There's like so many factors. It's hard. Moment of silence for that resolution. Okay. There's so many factors to like keep in mind as you work on something. Yeah, Jank, that's my problem too. I layer things too much. I do too much layering sometimes, and I feel that that comes at the cost of the quality of the music that I make, because it makes too many layers, which makes sense, I guess. Like, another thing that you can talk about is instruments. Like, if you use a sine wave, the sine wave is great because it only takes up one spot. Well, it only takes up one spot on the harmonic spectrum. So this is one point in the spectrum. However, if you start creating more complicated instruments, they start taking up more space. And when you get complicated, when you get complicated instruments like that, like if I brought this over to the piano, you'll see that this creates lots and lots of different points. And that's where mixing and mastering comes into play, because you want to make sure that the points that are the piano are represented. Soundscape, yes. You want to make sure that the points that really make up the core of the piano, in this case probably like the 200 to 800 range for the piano, you want to make sure that that's not being overwritten by something like the saxophone. And things just get more and more complex as you go along, especially with like electronic music where you have so many layers. The nice thing about Kazman, it's really nice. The nice thing about something with a minimal arrangement like this is it's very easy to cull parts of other song or parts of other layers. There is a little arrow right here that pushes it up. So yeah, you can get a bigger view. But with more complex arrangements, you have to worry about like your drums, specifically like your hats, your snare, your kick. You have to make sure that all of those are layered properly in the song so they're represented. And then you have your like bass, your sub bass, your lead, your pads. You have like all of these other things that are kind of conflicting, and you have to find a way to resolve them so they all work together. And it can be really, really hard. Like music production, when it comes to like EDM and stuff like that, can get really complicated. I mean, I've definitely made a song that I liked, but the mix was so bad that it just sounded like a pile of like mashed potatoes, you know, where it's just kind of just a big mush, where it's like the flavor's there, but the texture's all off. That's a weird analogy. Well, absolutely. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to this over and over. I just don't really know where to go for this. I have been writing music since 1998. And honestly, yeah, here, how about this? I have all my old music available on Bandcamp for free. If you're really curious on how I started, I have I have an album called Formative. Shh, it's coming soon. Where like I pulled old tapes from 1998. This is like one of the first songs I ever wrote. It's like a brass quartet. But like that was actually like written on sheet music and then translated into the computer. So it's like the way that I started like I mean, I've been writing music for a long time and I've been picking things up since then. Like if you're curious, like you can check that out if you want. It's free anyway, so it's not self-advertising. It's free, Reddit. But yeah, like you just pick things up as you go. I don't think that there's such a thing as a good listen to that album, but you can listen to it. There are some interesting ideas in there. Yeah, Castman. It sounds lo-fi because it was ripped off of a cassette tape. Back when I was in high school and college, I guess I still do it, honestly, but I gave out cassette tapes of the music that I had written that year for Christmas because back then I was poor and I had no really other way of producing Christmas gifts for people. But I do it these days because I'm actually proud of what I make and I want, yeah, some of those are pretty wild. And that's kind of going back to the music theory discussion where I was just like, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I was just mashing the keyboard and the things that I liked, I kept. I'm sure I could go back to those songs and be like, why does that work? Because some of it probably shouldn't, you know? Where exactly should this song go? Part of me wants to, part of me does want to add a snare. Yeah, exactly. How did you say your name? A long run? Damn it. A low run, that's what it was. Sorry, I had to look it up. So yeah, I essentially just, yeah, sorry. My brain's a little fried today. Alio run. Elo run. Elo run. Gotcha. I will try to remember that. Thank you. Having the thing where I didn't have to, but I wanted to put something out every year for Christmas helped a lot. Yeah. Confusing. There is an idiot's guide and a complete idiot's guide. Oh my God, really? I believe. No, you're fine. No, we don't need the ride symbol. Actually, instead of the tap, let's do a hat. This might be better. Oh, that actually kind of sucks, Jank. I think the one I have is 2005. Pretty sure. Because I think I read it 4 or 5 years ago. So unless I have a time machine. Yeah. I'm curious on whether or not I want to add, if I want to add more percussion to this, because I kind of like that it's free of drums, but I also like things slowly coming in over time. And the piano is kind of evolving too. Let's put this on the right. There we go. So part of me wants to just kind of take this little motif here. Had double bass. I'm trying to. So this is what Jank was talking about. I'm trying to keep the arrangement incredibly minimal. So the point of this album, this song is for the National Solo Album Month, or Naso Elmo, where the point of this album is to create, for me anyway, my project for this one is to create something very minimal, but not only minimal, but it still has a kind of a unifying soul to it, if that makes any sense, where everything kind of fits together. So I'm trying to stick very, very strictly to these 5 instruments, a piano, a synth, an upright bass, a saxophone, and some drums. And so far, like, I've been very successful with this, but I feel like I'm going to start branching out a little bit. But to the point I was trying to make before I distracted myself, I'm trying not to add a lot. I don't want to add a ton. Because it's so easy to get lost in adding things where you're not really adding value, you're just adding complexity. And this actually goes really hand in hand with programming and other stuff as well, where you can make things more complicated, but is it really worth the time and effort to do so? Because I want this to sound really, really sparse. Excuse me. Change from that stack when your interface went squirrely. Maybe. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's okay, Toxic. I miss the squirrels too, but you know, that's how that goes. I feel bad, like, now that's wintertime, like, I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah, like I lost my train of thought. I don't want to make things overly complicated. So I'm trying very hard to keep things minimal in that regard. So I think I'm gonna try to add a little bit more movement with the this is actually really interesting. And this is kind of what I'm talking about with music theory, kind of just becoming emergent, where suddenly we're kind of changing the way that we're approaching this song. So if you'll look at, oh, there we go. So even though that doesn't really do a good job of it, we're not really sticking to the time signature anymore, where instead of this being the beat, we're turning this into a triplet, because the normal beat is dot 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 dot, but we're going dot 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 dot. So but the rhythm So I actually really like that, where it's kind of subtly changing up the entire like rhythmic structure of the song, just by kind of shifting things around a little bit. And I feel that that kind of creates a really interesting evolution for the track as a whole, and I kind of want to lean into it a little bit more. Um, so we can go like this, maybe. It's the problem with all these chords. There we go. I'm stuck. There we go. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, like this has been the ensemble that I've used the whole time. Now I've switched out the piano, I've switched out the synth, I've switched out the bass. Like I've done live bass playing. It doesn't fit with this song. But yeah, like I'm trying really hard. It's just a personal challenge. Like I'm this is not something that I'm required to do, but it's something that I want to see if I can do, just to see how far I can go with such minimal accoutrement, which is probably the worst French in your life, but you know what I mean. Nope, this has to be D. These are a little loud. The other thing that I'm trying to do, and I'm actually kind of regretting not doing it now, is adding like field recordings and background noise to this, because this song could definitely use... Are you guys moving around on screen? It's code. Like I coded a little dashboard thing that I use to kind of manage stuff. Like I do a 2-hour track challenge every Wednesday usually. But since I'm doing the album in a month, I kind of do this instead. So I can set up a timer up here. Yeah.
Remember to save.
Thank you. Yes, remember to save. I should do that. I haven't saved in a while. Yeah, so people kind of pop in and out depending on, like, every time you send a message, it resets your timer for what is that, 15 minutes? 900 seconds? Remember to save. Try the 11 beta? I might. I saw that there's a way to sign up for it. I kind of want to see if I can get into that. I also don't want to have an unstable piece of software, though, because betas are, by nature, unstable. So, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I already pre-ordered it, so... These are a little loud. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to even out the volumes on this because this doesn't have to be. Take care, Toxic. Thanks for hanging out, my dude. Yeah, absolutely, Aloran. I'm so happy that you're able to like show up and hang out for a bit. I'm super happy to answer questions. If you are a Discord user, also thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. If you're a Discord user, I have a Discord that you should hang out in if that's your thing. There's a lot of super talented artists there. That is your theme song. Every time somebody follows, they get... Yeah, this piano is really nice, especially running it through Raum. I love Raum. Oh boy. A little lost that. Yeah, Raum. This goes with epic verb, yeah. Sure. So the piano I'm using is called the Gentleman, and I love it quite a bit, actually. That was a little janky, but that works. There you go, low run. Yeah, Raum. I think it's really pronounced Raum, but it's a little too long to clip, but there you go. I'll save this for you. Yes. Go to sleep. Remind me tomorrow. I'll send this file to you if you really want it. Actually, so I can fix the mistakes. There we go. Deleted. Yes, I do. I try to save VODs of all the music production, although this music production is super, super random. Cass, man. Yeah. I hear you there. Yeah, take care. That was fun. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of just evolving the melody or the feeling in a different couple ways, and just seeing where things go. Yeah, as much as I'd love to get into the new consoles, but it just feels like it's gonna be impossible for a while, right? I don't know what I'd do anyway. Like, I've been playing a lot of Switch, which is fun. Thought there was a note in here that wasn't really vibing with me. Nice thing about doing this stuff in MIDI is I can just change it. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm really starting to establish this triplet melody. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can either invest in a console, or I can build a new computer for when Ableton 11 comes out. I'll have a new rig that will probably give me less issues when I try to run 3 instruments at the same time. So now we're really leaning into this triplet melody with this. I think that works better. Let's get this timing right. So this is still a little loud for my taste. This song's turning out really neat, though. I'm super glad that I took the time to stream today. Like, you know that feeling where it's just like, I really don't want to, but I know that I should. It's just like, you never know what's going to happen. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to go with that, where it's just like, you never know how things are going to go. And this song is turning out super neat. Let's go really bassy. Yeah, we can do like a couple bars of that. Absolutely, Floop. Like that's why I love doing the 2-hour track challenge, because 90% of the time I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I basically just go live and be like, I need to write a song in 2 hours now. let's go. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but that's not the point. Yeah, no worries, Jank. So yeah, and I've definitely in the past when I was struggling a little bit, I talked about like, oh, maybe I'll take a break from the 2-hour track challenge, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But I don't think it's really going to go anywhere in the long term. It's just there's too many cool things that you can do with that format, and it's so nice to have a structured way to just make something every week, even if it's not great. The idea of just sitting down and making something is just so valuable. Sorry, I have to burp. That's not going to end well if I do that. Maybe I don't. Damn it. Blech. Unfortunately, not much. Since it works off of breath pressure, like here, I'll. Yeah, if I talk into it, it just doesn't do much. If I talk into it just kind of makes a. So it goes off of breath pressure. It doesn't go off of vibrations. So it's mostly just designed to kind of work as a mouthpiece. There are things, I don't really have anything on me right now, but you can create like a vocoder effect with other like microphones and things. But so honestly, I kind of want to fade this out. For a song called Insomnia, I feel the best way to resolve this song is just to have it fade into nothingness, because that's generally how insomnia is cured. It just kind of disappears. You know? I don't know how many of you have had insomnia in the past where it's just like it just keeps going. Yeah. Because it's kind of like you're just lying there trying to sleep, and you're frustrated that you're trying to sleep, and you're just getting so annoyed and not necessarily angry, but it's just like it doesn't end. And then all of a sudden you wake up the next day, and you're just like, oh, I guess I was asleep the whole time. And that's really how I'm feeling right now with the insomnia that I'm dealing with. Where it's just like I'm just lying there, and all of a sudden I look at the clock and it's midnight, and I was like, oh man, that sucks. I have so much I need to do. And then I look at the clock again and it's 4 a.m. It's like I remember being awake, but I also remember not being awake. And it's just like it's this whole thing, you know? So I'm going to fade this out while the reverb fades up. I think this is kind of a fitting end to this song, you know? And then we can go in and we can change things around and all that, but I feel like, if anything, this is probably the best way to end the song. Because there's definitely more things that I'd like to do, but I want to listen to the whole thing again. You should give it a try, you know? The nice thing about making things is that there's really the only pressure is the pressure that you give yourself, you know? I mean, there's always the 2-hour album challenge that's coming up in January, if you wanted to wait that long. But really, just like sit down, put a 2-hour timer on there and just try to make something. It doesn't have to be like a full song. It can be a loop, you know? I don't like that note. Yeah, I need to fix this. I hear you, Castman. Have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Yes. Good morning. Go to sleep. This is still a little loud. This could use a wider on it for more stereo separation. The time to do it. I hear you. It's hard. I mean, even if you take 30 minutes a day, if you have that, there's still things that you can do. A lot of the music theory learning that I did in 15-minute increments every morning, which, sorry, I needed to let that resolve, which, you know, not everybody's schedule works for that, but this is still too loud. Yeah. I am going to add a little EQ to... Actually, no, I don't need to add an EQ. The clicks and pops for this are just a little too much. Where are they on here, though? Right here. I really like the sound that they have, but they're just a little too much. Yeah, life is busy. Like there's it's really hard to find time for things. I kind of want to keep the saxophone going at the end of this. Oh my god. Cool. So from a music standpoint, this is like drifting off to sleep. I really don't think that I need this decrescendo. Kind of happens on its own, you know. Okay, so this last little bit can just use a fade out. Cool. Well, there's things that we need to change on this, but for the moment, I'm happy with it. So I think I'm going to get going. I have to start making dinner and other stuff for the night. But guys, I really do appreciate you hanging out with me today and putting up with all of the tangents that I had. It was definitely good to sit down and make something. And like a lot of the time when I do these Naso Elmo challenges, I like to keep the songs close to my chest where it's like, oh, you can't hear it until it's done because it's kind of like a big surprise. But honestly, making these songs on stream has been really, really fulfilling for me. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'll probably do another weekend stream where we can write another song and then, hey, Jank, welcome back. I'm just wrapping up just because I got to make dinner and stuff. But yeah, it's been really nice to just hang out and make these songs. And I'm really glad that there's like people out there who are interested in this style of music, because there's a lot of people like on Twitch and the greater, music listening community where they're just like, where's the drop, bro? And it's just like, well, songs don't have to have that kind of structure. And there's a lot of music out there, and I'm really having a lot of fun exploring this genre. And just trying to figure out what makes it work. Like having this simple arrangement of 5 instruments, I'm actually honestly super surprised at how varied these songs have been. And we're straying from my initial inspiration of Black Earth, but that's okay because it's there for inspiration. It's not there for, oh, I need to copy this note for note or it's going to be a failure. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool, and I'd love to see more, but I definitely don't have the patience to make something like it. Yeah, this is really interesting for me on that front, where it's like the songs themselves are very patient. Like they grow and evolve slowly. And usually when I write this music, I'm just like, okay, 4 bars of this, then we move into 4 bars of this, and then we're in the chorus. And then after 8 bars of the chorus, we go into the breakdown, and then the breakdown, we build things up, and then we're in the chorus again. It's like those songs move so fast. And making an album like this, where the songs move so slowly, like we're a minute in and we haven't even gotten to any kind of lead. It takes 2 minutes to get to the drums. Like this kind of stuff is it's really kind of a big paradigm shift for me. And it allows me to approach music making in a very different way, which is really interesting. And that's why I like doing the National Solo Album Month, because it gives me the opportunity to explore a style where I can go into it and be like, okay, well, I want to make kind of like dark electronic ambient IDM stuff, which turned into the One Last Bonfire Before the World Ends. Last year I made Felt Cute Might Delete Later, which is like all lo-fi hip hop. And then this time I'm doing like dark jazz and like this really slow ambient stuff. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to getting all these songs together into one like cohesive form. And honestly, I think I've already, if I haven't already hit the, let's see, I have like the goal is 29 minutes of music, and this is 20 minutes right here. This song adds another 6 minutes to that, 6.5. And then I have another 5-minute piece. So like really I'm done with the challenge, and the month is only like a third over. So I really want to get this into a 60-minute long album by the end of the month. I think that this would be a really cool thing to release on New Year's Eve, like having people jam out to this and just like kind of decompress from the year and prepare for the new year. Listening to this album, I think would be super cool. So my current goal is to get something like 45 minutes or 60 minutes long, and try to get it out by the end of the year. And obviously whatever iteration, whatever I'm done with when the month is in, whatever I have when the month is over, I'm going to put that on Bandcamp. But then, before I release it to Spotify and all of the major distributors, I want to really like clean it up and polish it and make it like really shine, and try to get that out before the end of the year. I think that would be an incredibly cool way to cap off the year and to start 2021. Like the whole point of this album is to create a mood. And that mood is that things persevere. And I think that everybody in 2020 really needs that reminder that you will persevere, you know? Like things are dark, they're spooky, and they are not necessarily what you want them to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be like that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you can't have things change with you as things move forward. So I really want to try to get this done by the end of the year. But I also want to do it right. Like if I'm at the end of the month and I only have 35 minutes or 40 minutes of music, I'm just like, you know, this really needs like 4 or 5 more songs to really even it out. I'm not going to release it, but I think that I can make that happen. I just don't want to overload myself with a project that gets a little too ambitious, you know? So guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. This song like turned out way better than I hoped it would. And I'm really happy that you were here to help guide me through that. Yeah, that's the album title. The album title and the picture actually came from a tweet that a buddy of mine posted like back in August, I think. Yeah, this was the tweet, and I was like, dude, that is such an album title. So I asked him, and it's like, yeah, you can totally use that. I threw him some like money for licensing or whatever, just because I like to support people. But like the picture and the just the the title. It's like, it's so perfect. It's like such a good encapsulation of 2020 for me, where it's just like, you know, all of this bad stuff is happening. And, you know, even if things like have some rays of hope in them, like nature and the world, it's unaffected. At least the moon is. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is coming up. Okay, I've said goodbye like 3 times. I've got to get going. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of the day. I may or may not try to stream more over the next couple of days because I have to burn vacation days, so I took them off. Also, this is a really cool shot. I love this shot. This one's from me a long time ago. This is probably going to be the like liner notes. I'll have like text over here or something. But I'm going to get going. So thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I will talk to you later. See ya.